Hello, everyone. Welcome
Oh,
to
is
the
it?
live stream.
Oh, is it happening?
We're live, dude.
Oh, snap.
You guys have to tell us how our audio is, how everything looks, what you think.
Yeah, we ran multiple tests, but that means literally nothing.
Hey, everybody, you want to do some shout outs? See Lone
Oh,
Wolf. How's it going? Saw Hammy in there, Adrian,
oh,
Ash,
okay.
Alyssa,
Okay, okay,
Iris.
okay.
What's up, Lisa? How's it going, Kuru?
So
Ooh,
yeah.
audio is perfect. They said we sound great.
Oh, how about that? I'm popping out chat here. See this? I'm learning things. I'm glad everything works, guys. We're I'm up in New Jersey and Nick is down in Tennessee.
Yes, I am.
So we've had to figure out how to do this, and we tried a couple options. This wound up being the best one, but apparently it works. But yeah. Oh wow. Okay, we have a lot of people in here. We're doing great. Thanks for asking, No. Hello, everybody. We're doing good. I guess that's the answer to the first question of the day,
Dude,
is
so
how are we
good.
doing? Yeah, so the Kuru, Nick is an audio technician in every sense of the word. In every sense of the word.
A side job? Yeah, kind of the main gig here, you
Kind of your
know?
main
It's
job.
kind of the thing.
Kind of your main job. But oh, Lissa, does everyone always call you Lisa because people can't read? It's obviously Lissa. Um,
Adrian, what's up, neighbor? How's it going?
hey neighbor. Um, so we're good, guys. We're chilling. This week has been fun getting everything ready and enjoying the release. We're playing and listening to the song, getting all the tweets and messages and comments. I've been trying to stay on top of the comments on the video. I'm a little behind at the moment because I had a long day of work. Samuel, go do the raid. Razageth is not going to kill themselves, unfortunately. Um, oh, it is Lisa. Oh, so Nick, you said it right, and
I
then
said
I
it
said it
correct. I was
wrong?
like, wait, did I say it right? I'm pretty sure I did.
Oh, damn it. So I'm the one who can't read. Great. That's great. Silexic, bonjour. Yeah, so anyway, here we are, guys. This is the celebratory YouTube live stream just to get together with you guys and chat. We always do the pre-release in Discord, which happened this past Wednesday. And we had the most people that we've ever had at that. But we want to make sure we hit all the different, spots because some people aren't in the Discord and they're here, and some people are here but they're are on Twitter but they're not here, and some people are on Facebook and we'll never talk to them again because I don't think I'm ever going on Facebook again.
Yeah, never using that again.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to put a post on Facebook that's like, by the way, we're never going to use Facebook again. That's
It's a fair assessment. I mean, I post like some graphics and visualizers in there,
yeah.
but other than that, I'm not gonna be on there doing anything live or chatting. I don't even think we're responding to comments there.
No, hot dumpster fire. So yeah, yes, Silexic. So we wound up, I think, with 94 at peak. I always tell Sam to get off Facebook. So yeah, so Iris, that's a very good question. Twitch release party is going to be at, I believe, 5 p.m. So about 3 hours from when this stream ends, 4 hours from now, I will be on Twitch. I think I'm gonna play some Below,
What's
which is
that?
a, I talked to you about that game, but I don't think you saw it. I'm not
No,
sure.
I have to look it up.
Also, if you can hear children screaming in the background, that's all the kids in my neighborhood
No, we
playing.
can't hear it.
Okay, there, dude. So behind my building, there's like a big easement that's just grass, and all the kids play back there. So there's like literally 60 kids
Are you
playing
yelling at
soccer.
them and telling them to get off your lawn?
No, in fact, their parents came to me and apologized, and I was like, "For what?" Like, kids are gonna play outside. That's how it's gonna go.
I mean, they are.
Um,
Kids play. I did.
I'd rather have them playing outside than my neighbors upstairs who their kids just run around the house and just stomp around and their little dog just bark, 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 from 6:30 in the morning till 11:30 at night, even though they have a newborn baby.
Tell us how you really feel.
I don't understand. I just don't understand things. Okay, I'm getting carried away and I'm not reading
It's
comments,
okay,
but
man. You get carried away. It's okay. It's
all
okay.
right.
Come back though.
So Iris, 4 hours from 11 minutes ago will be the Twitch hangout. Solvix, I have played all of the Dead Space games. I would play them again. I don't think I've played them since the remasters came out. Adrian, I played Dead by Daylight a little bit, but I definitely get stressed out playing it.
Dude, I get stressed out watching people play that game.
I
Like,
hate that I can't fight
sheesh.
back.
Yeah, pretty helpless.
And you're
Like,
not fat. You're not
when I
faster.
play,
You're
I've
not.
played that game a couple of times, right? It's like you're one of the, what do they call them? Just survivors or something? What they call
Yeah.
it, like the non-monster
Yeah.
character. You play as
Yeah.
that and you fight up against a monster. You're like, oh, it's so easy to just be a monster. Then you're a monster. You're like, oh, it's so easy to be a survivor. Like, I can't
Yeah.
do either.
It's when I just realize that I'm just not good. I'm like, I'm just not good. Like, oh wow, why is this so hard? Oh, because I'm bad at the game. But I don't like games where I can't like fight back a little bit, you know? Not the best. But yeah, so we're gonna just hang out. That's the point of this live session. We're just hanging out. We're gonna answer some questions. And whatever you guys, whatever pops up into your the old noggin, go ahead and put it out there, and we'll do our best to answer questions as long as they're not super weird or inappropriate. Um, I think that's pretty much the only things that we don't get to, and for it to be too weird for us, it's got to be real out there, folks. Um, Will the stream be on the 8 Grade channel? Iris, yes, it will. The Twitch stream will be on our channel. You'll notice if you go to the channel, Nick was kind enough to make a header for us today. And I think I did a test this morning on all my Streamlabs stuff to make sure that everything is good to go. I was going to make the switch to OBS, but I didn't have time because my life has been a hellscape for the past 3.5
Oh
weeks.
gosh.
Uh, Anyway, what are some other questions? Vake asks, will there be behind the beat again? Danger.
There might be. I mean, I've got this streaming
Set
set
up.
up. I could make some content. I was thinking about it. Yeah, you never know. Stay tuned. We'll definitely announce it if that's the case.
Okay. Alyssa asks, do we have a Discord? And Alyssa, yes, we do. We have been trying to do our best to we realize we don't do a good job of like telling people in one place that we exist in other places. And that's part of the reason that we wanted to do these is because it's a good way to kind of cross promote all the little, things that we do. And the cool thing, and Moonlight, thank you for posting the Discord link. So Discord, we do every time we release a song. Release days are normally Fridays. The Wednesday prior, we do a pre-release stream where we do kind of this. We hang out, and you actually get to hear the song 2 days before it comes out, which is pretty cool. And we do that for every release, with the exception of if something is unavoidably in the way in Nick and I's life. So
Yep.
yeah, join Discord, and then you get to hear songs a little bit early. No, have you guys played Portal or Half-Life? Portal is, I believe, Nick, one of your favorite games.
I've beat Portal 2 probably like 5 times now, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
definitely in Portal probably cracks like my top 25 favorite games. And Nick played Half-Life even in VR.
I played Alex in VR. I just fired it up again. They have like a new extra hard campaign that I'm going through with some additional weapons and stuff that people have created as mods or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I think it's called mods. And man,
Yeah.
it is unsettling when you're looking down the barrel of a gun from one of the combine and you're just like right in front of them in VR.
It's
It's
like
like,
real life.
Like in Half
Um,
Life 2, you'll be in front of like 20 of those guys. You're like, whatever, pew, 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 pew. But you're in
yep.
front of two Combine in VR. You're like, I'm not moving away from the cover from this car that I'm standing behind. Like, I can't do it.
No. It's a little bit more threatening when it feels like you're really there, and it makes me extremely nauseous. But anyway, Lone Wolf asks, what happened to the 100K stream? So what happened was,
What happened was,
see, what happened was Nick moved. I was here. We didn't really have great solutions on how to do it. So it took time to figure it out, and then by the time we got around to it, it was like, oh, we really should do that. Then when Nick was actually here, because we did a photo shoot, and I was like, oh, we should do it while you're here, and then we just had shoot and the video shoot and we had to learn the songs and arrange them acoustically, and just so much was on our plate that we just didn't get to it. So honestly, the biggest reason we didn't have it is just the logistics of trying to figure out how to do it. But now that we're getting there and we're figuring out how to make things work, this seems to be going smoothly enough. Because you don't want to be like, hey guys, massive 100K subscription party, and then like that's the first time that you're like doing this. Because it's like you don't want to like really promote something that like the first time you do it, you're promoting something that it's the first time ever, and then like it, you know, screws up, and then you're like, oh god.
literally. Yeah.
So we had to have a couple tests before we go right for that. Will there ever be a show in Idaho? Asks Ash. Ash, we want to play everywhere.
Yeah.
But without going
Want to play
into a
all
long
places.
complaining rant about the music industry and how difficult touring is right now between the cost of everything. And I don't know if you guys have been paying any attention to the Live Nation congressional hearing that's going on right now, and the very brave young man that decided to basically ruin his band's touring career to explain to Congress how awful Live Nation is. That's a good dude right there. And now, of course, I forget his name, so I feel like a bad person. But we're gonna do everything we can to get on the road, but it is as difficult, if not more difficult, than it's ever been in the history of modern music.
Really difficult. Yeah. And
To put it
it's getting harder like
every
every
day.
few months.
Every day it gets harder. But again, that's boring, and I'm gonna bitch and moan about it, and it won't be fun.
But Brent, why are we here?
Oh,
Why are we doing this? Like, why are we sitting
I
down,
didn't
nice
even
lights
I
on,
didn't do
cameras?
that. Yeah, I didn't even talk about that. Yeah, this is for because Bored to Death came out, guys.
Yay!
If you have listened to Bored to Death and you're here, I mean, if you haven't listened to it and you're here, that would be weird. I was gonna say if you have listened to it, give us a little F or something. Um, Alex asks inspiration for the song. So that's a good question to bring up while we're talking about why we're
Yeah,
here.
dude, hit us with it.
So we're here for the release of Bored to Death, and what I basically wrote Bored to Death about was this kind of transition period after COVID. Um, we're getting back out into the world and realizing like I don't like to do a lot of stuff that I used to do. I don't know if anybody else experienced this, but I kind of got like my social battery became like it held a lot less of a charge. You know what I mean? I don't know if any of you guys have felt that way, but I definitely got like it was harder for me to be in public. It was harder for me to go out and do things. I had more anxiety and apprehension about just kind of being around a lot of people, like even going to the grocery store and it's slammed, I'd be like, ugh, I haven't had to deal with this in a long time.
I remember you talking to me about going to grocery stores like one of the most like you're like, am I up for this today? Can I do this today?
Yeah, I have very specific hours on very specific days in which I'll go. So
Yeah,
it's basically got to be a Monday or a Tuesday, and it's got to be between like 10:30 a.m. and like basically like 1:30 in the afternoon before people start to get out of work. You can't go too early because then there's all the old people there, and like, bro, old people are gangster. Bro, they don't give a shit about no one,
that's
dude.
a clip right there.
Bro, old people are just like hitting you with their cart, like people like I've literally had ladies like eyeing stuff in my cart like, oh, there was no more Crispix left. This motherfucker's got Crispix. I'm about to take this dude's Crispix. Like, I feel like I'm in like the chow line in prison, dude. It's like bad in there. So I have very specific things. But anyway, so I found myself kind of holding up, and old people are gangster. Brent 2023. I've kind of
Meanwhile,
found
people in
myself,
chat are calling us old, by the way, just so you're aware.
bro. I'm old, but I'm not like I need a special bus to take me to the supermarket. You know what I mean? Like, it's true, Sam. Half of what I buy is ice cream, but like when you go to the grocery store and there's like all the old people getting off like the bus, like I guess it's from like a home or something. I ain't that old. I could drive.
I ain't that old.
I'm getting there. Someone said Nick was getting gray. I got it here, man. I'm getting old
Bro, getting
too.
gray. I've been gray. Just because my hair's longer, you can see it now. That's
Yeah,
why.
but it looks good on you though.
Well, thank you. I
You're wearing
appreciate
it.
that.
You're wearing it well. I am 40, Jane. That is a good guess. I just actually turned 40, and now here's gonna come a bunch of surprise emojis. But so anyway, Bored to Death was just about I felt myself isolating and staying home a lot more and just wanting to like really not be out. But at the same time, I kind of wanted to be out and I wanted to like I was like, oh well, no one invites me to anything. But then if like somebody invites me to something, I'm like, I don't want to go to that. Like, so really what it was about this like balance between I feel like more people are really isolating themselves. And as I was doing the comments on the YouTube video, I got a ton of people saying like, wow, I feel really called out. Like I feel like, like this is very relatable. This is very much how I feel right now. And so we had a lot of that happening. And I just know that a lot of people are kind of feeling that same way, where you're kind of like, you don't really have any desire to do anything but stay home. But at the same time, you're like, wow, like I wish I had, that's like the second verse. I wish I was cool. I'd have things to do. I could ignore anyone that I choose. It's like, even if I did have people hitting me up to do stuff, like I want the validation of being invited to things, but I don't really want to do nothing. Right? Like I want people to include me. I want people to be like, hey man, you should come to this. And I'd be like, nah, sorry, son, I'm busy. Like I'm not gonna make it.
Dude, I feel the same way. Like, for
Yeah,
real. Yeah.
it's what it is. So Bored to Death was just about this balance between needing to be isolated, feeling bad that I'm isolated, but also wanting to be isolated. But then once you're that way for a while, you're like, oh my God, this is like really the same thing every day. I remember when I wrote that song, I randomly had like 2 weeks off of work. I don't know why. Sometimes I just don't work for 2 weeks because I'm just like, I'm gonna give myself 2 weeks off because that's a thing normal people do. And I think I remember I was in the house for like 10 days, and I remember I was like, oh my God, I'm so bored. There's only so much League of Legends I can play before I'm like washed, you know? Um,
You do be playing a lot of video games, though.
I play a lot of video games.
You do. That's why you're so effing good at them, but you definitely play a lot of video games.
What sucks is I'm not good at them.
Yeah. Says a that's, yeah, you have imposter syndrome. You're ridiculous at them. Like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm
but
just going to casually, 200% Celeste for the fourth time. And let me show you how I do it in a week. I watched you
I,
do it.
it was what's funny is I almost decided to do it on. I was gonna play Celeste today on the stream because I was like, I haven't played it in a while. I should like
You're
get my game.
ridiculous, dude. You're ridiculous.
I'm good at certain things, but like, dude, then I play League and I just get like my head kicked in. And Iris, I'm sorry you won't be playing this season, but don't worry, you'll be back. No one can resist. And now I'm playing WoW again a little bit. I'm like, ugh. So I don't know. Like I think I'm good at things, and then but the thing about games is now so much of it is about like, are you gonna know life one game for like and not do anything but play that game?
I just want to address the chat real quick because I just feel the need to defend myself.
Uh-oh.
Someone wrote, and it's dude 000. I believe Nick spends a lot of times on games too. That's incorrect. I spend
Oh.
about an hour and a half to 2 hours max on weeknights, and that's it.
Yeah. I spend probably about 30 hours a week playing video games.
Full time gig, my guy.
Mhm. But the thing is, I don't sleep. So this is where the balance comes is I only sleep for like 4 or 5 hours. Um, so like I generally my girlfriend who I live with, this is her setup over here. If you're wondering why there's a whole nother gaming setup over here. Um, she has to wake up for work at like 6 in the morning. So she goes to bed at like 9 or 10. And then like me, I stay up until like 3 in the morning, so I
Boy,
have
you
all this
don't sleep.
time.
Yeah.
No, no, no. So I stay up till like 2 or 3, and then I'll go to sleep. So, ooh, they're playing.
Yeah, if you're wondering
I,
who does the YouTube comments of the night of the release, bro, this is me.
yep.
Brent's up like doing them all.
I'm
All right,
just
stay up to 2 a.m. I got to go to sleep. Okay, good job, dude. Good job.
I know. And it was worse this time. Oh, Sam be gaming with me too. This time it was worse because now Nick is in a different time zone. So Nick is an hour behind me. So Nick set it for
Yeah,
midnight
my
at
mistake.
his
My
time.
mistake.
So I couldn't even get to comments until 1 a.m. And I was like, that's fine. It's fine. But anyway, I'm rambling and we're not getting any of these questions. So we got to make sure that we get some of these questions.
We got an inspiration question. What inspired the name Eight Graves?
Oh, we've answered this question a lot.
Sure have.
So Alyssa, this is a fun thing too. In the Discord server, we have a lot of frequently asked questions that have been set up by the lovely people there. So there's a lot of information there, but we can answer it for you, no problem. Um, I think I initially liked Eight Graves because it rhymed. So I actually wanted to call us just Graves, and then I forgot there's like a bunch of bands called Graves. And so I was like, we'll put something else involved. And then I was like, eight, like kind of rhymes. And then Nick came up with the idea of, go ahead, all
Yeah,
yours.
so if you consider Eight Graves and the phrase cats have nine lives, so if we were the cat, we would have already expelled, or what would be the word? Used
You.
8 of our lives musically. So we've been in a bunch of projects leading up until Eight Graves. Like Brent and I have known each other for like half our lives at this point, 20 some odd years, close to that mark.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so that we were just like, you know what? We're gonna give it one last try, and yeah, we just retrofitted the name Eight Graves. So it's like we're on our last real attempt of Eight Graves, but the attempt is going for a long time now. We're approaching the 8 year mark now, right? 7, 8 years.
I think our first release was in 2015, and we were working
2015.
on it for like a year before that, right?
Right. Yeah. So there you go.
So was it 17?
2015. No, it was 2015. That was when
Oh,
the
I was like,
mixtape
I
came
was
out, I
like, wait, I thought,
believe.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
and we were working on that for like the year before. So yeah, it's kind of like Nine Lives, Eight Graves. It's kind of the idea. Um, but yeah, so that's where that came from, and it just kind of rhymed and sounded cool. And also, like, I'm a pretty like morbid dude, like I'm very like my sense of aesthetic is like borderline goth, like I love everything with like black and skulls and blood, and that's like what I like. So it just kind of like worked for me, for sure. But anyway, uh. Bofty, I have played Overwatch before. I think they kind of ruined it with Overwatch 2. I know that's like a hot take, but here we go. Um, oh God. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, Nick, that's one for you. What inspired you to make music? You've answered this question before, but it's still a good one.
Uh, I give the short answer because it's a long journey getting into the field of music, but I really just wanted to see if I could do it. That was it. I liked like the audio science and technical aspect to making music. I was really into sound design, like during the early days of the EDM bubble, so to speak, and had always been doing it. Even when Brent had and I had older, like previous bands, I would sketch out ideas and completely MIDI program everything into like FL Studio or something. Like all the guitars, all the drums, exactly how I wanted to be the song format, and then I'd send it to the band and be like, "Well, this is what it should sound like." Like this is at least what I am thinking, and it kind of went from there since I was using the software so much. So
Yeah, for sure.
and
And
now I really just enjoy the process of exploring what types of songs that Brent and I can make. I mean, you listen to mixtape to War Out There, to some of the singles, to the colored albums, right? Black, white, red, and then the two recent EPs, and now this next EP that's or full length that's coming out. such a transformation of ability, messaging, aesthetic. It's just awesome to be able to, at this point, express myself with Brent. Really.
Yeah. And now we've gotten to the point where we're very like we're just trying to edit ourselves and like just try to make something that's like really strong compared to any like music out there, and we're not like trying to be niche. And yeah, um getting pretty fun. These songs are going to be real. I can't wait for you guys to hear the rest of these songs,
Dude,
man. It's
no,
really crazy.
like I'm real glad you guys like the song a lot, and it's a very strong song, and I hope that it does everything it needs to do. But we got so many that you're not
Uh,
even ready. You're not ready.
when I
It's
listened to the whole record, like the first two songs, I'm like, these are really good. And then like when it gets to that middle four, I'm like,
like,
ugh.
oh, okay.
Like, damn, really, like
And then the
that's a
way it closes, the way the record closes, you're like, and then you start after you play the last song and you start the record from the top again, you're like, whoa, we really got from here to there.
yeah,
But it
yeah.
feels so good. Yeah.
It really works. Adrian, how could I forget Waffle House? I have a lot of bad Waffle House stories, by the way, but we're not going to get
Who
into them
has
because
good ones?
a lot of them
Who's like,
involve
dude, I met my wife at Waffle House and it's
no,
just been
most of
great.
them are me getting in a fist fight with a random person, as you do as one does at Waffle House. Sam, my favorite member of Wu-Tang is obviously Method Man, because come on,
Sheesh.
arguably, arguably the most underrated rapper of all time. He's like, I think he's in my top three best rappers of all time, but he doesn't really get discussed in that conversation very often. But that dude is the truth. Um, Jane, I put in work at Waffle House, but I'm always on edge at Waffle House because it is sketchy. Um, bad things happen at Waffle House. Adrian, I don't know if we could put Love Automatic back on Spotify. I don't know. For those of you who don't know, Love Automatic was Nick and I's, I guess, last band before this, right?
Well, I had a solo project in between the two, but our
Our
previous thing,
last
yeah.
band. I don't even know if I have any of those songs anywhere. Um, how did you guys handle having a self-employed artistic career? If I end up a freelance artist, I want to be prepped. That's a really good question, actually. Um, that is, I think, one of the most underratedly difficult things about being an artist now. And for those of you guys that don't know, hello, Brawl. For those of you guys that don't know, I also my other job, my day job, if you will, is I'm a tattooer. So I'm like a freelance, self-employed artist there and in the band. And Nick does audio engineering and mixing and sound design stuff as his own entity outside of Eight Graves. So we both kind of have like side artist gigs that we do. Um, so that I think the business end of it, having like expense plans and accounting and your taxes and expenses and trying to set budgets for things like so for instance we had an interesting and kind of honestly for me a little bit embarrassing situation recently where we were trying to inquire about getting like a music video done and we're like we could probably spend between like $5,000 and $8,000 on like a music video and we found these really really talented animators who happened to be fans of the band and had a little get together with them and we're like our budget is like somewhere between like 4 and 7 or $5,000 and $8,000 and they're like oh well what we do is like $10,000 a minute. We're like oh wasn't it like $13,000 a minute or
Yeah,
something
and dude, worth every penny because they're
dude
incredible. Just
they're
not
amazing
matching our budget. Yeah.
amazing but like obviously that just wasn't something that we could do and then you're like oh man like if we had somebody in the business that knew a little bit more about the relative scale of cost, because I almost felt like I insulted them. They're so talented, and the fact that I gave them such a low budget compared to what they charge, I felt bad. But the budgeting and and all that stuff is hard. But the other, I think, really, really difficult part about it now is all this trying to promote your what you do when there's 50 million people all trying to do it and everybody has the same amount of access, right? Like everybody can be on Fiverr if you're an artist. Everybody can put out music if, they want to because of DistroKid and everybody can send their music directly to Spotify, right? So like I think the really, really hard part is the marketing aspect of it and how you try to separate yourself and kind of cut through the noise to show people, hey, this is the thing that I do. So, and then the last thing I think that's really difficult is just self-governance. Um, Nobody makes us do our work. We got to drive ourselves. We have
It's true.
to,
Yep.
yeah, we got to get up and we got to do it. What's up, Jacoba? We got to get up and we got to do it, right? No boss is coming for us. No, like if we miss a deadline, there's no punishment. And in some ways, the child inside of me is like, this is sick. I have no boss. I can do whatever I want, like spring break, like whatever. And then the other part of me is like, bro, when you get down, when I get like a little bit of depression and I want to like sleep and eat all day, I can't. Like I have to force myself to move forward. Like I said, these past couple of weeks for me, I was telling Nick the other day, I haven't slept more than like 4 or 5 hours a night, which is kind of normal for me, but at the same time, there's normally a day here or there where I like get a catch up sleep. Like I'll sleep for 4 or 5 hours for like 4 or 5 days or 6 days, and then like that sixth, seventh, eighth day, I sleep for like forever. So yeah, or at least if I'm not sleeping, I'm relaxing. So that's I think the other really hard part about it is just this self-driving kind of thing.
Yeah, you need to
Uh,
have self governance, like you said. But the other thing is like, how do you transition? I think you do it or you don't. I mean, that's pretty much it.
yeah,
It depends on you how you operate. If you need to put food on your plate and pay for rent, and you're going to make that transition, well, it may say I have to do anything I can to be able to make this work, right?
yep,
Yeah. And the other thing I would say as well is if you're someone like me and you were, or I would say you are in the corporate sector doing the corporate thing, um, and you can't stand it, leave as soon as you can. It doesn't get better. It
don't
will never
wait,
get better. It will
don't
never get
wait.
better. But
My,
if you,
mhm.
and this is my last thing is, but if you can stand it, I would suggest staying there because it's an easier life. You might just be built for that. Maybe you can do both. Maybe you can balance stuff. But most like creatives have a very difficult time being in an environment that they're not their own boss and they have no room for creativity or expression. If you have to pull up an Excel spreadsheet and blah, blah, blah all day, then, and that doesn't make you happy, never will.
Mhm.
I've tried to tell myself so many times that I can do better and that I thought I was deficient in some way. But the moment that I left that, I mean, it comes with its own set of worries and whatnot. But the moment I left that, I have never been happier. I've never been happier. And it doesn't happen right away either when you leave. Like, it's still taking me time to get fully used to it because I really only left like a year and a half, 2 years ago. We wanted to go do Everyday Oblivion. I remember we were with Dwight. He was like, dude, why don't you just like do it? He's like, when you're older, you at least can look back like, hey, I did it. I at least tried.
Yeah.
It's the other than like being scared, never doing it. Then when you're older and being like, I wonder if I could have. I wonder if I could have done that. So that's where I'm at right now, and I could fail. And failure's
Relative
it's
term.
relative, right? I love that I'm doing this now and living this with Brent and with you guys and making all this music. And nothing lasts forever, obviously, but I'm going to try my absolute hardest and damnedest to make this work. And that's it. You just really make the choice, I feel.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I always say if a job can pay you 50 grand, you'd be surprised how easy it is to make 50 grand
And that's what you've
a
told
year.
me.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, if your
Like,
rent is
bro,
this and this is how much you spend on groceries or whatever it is, it's like,
yeah.
well, what does the band make? What's the difference? What can you do as side work, in your field to make that up? And that's what I've been doing. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I can live like this. And I
And there's
found
been there,
when
there's
I
been
was working in
times
the
I had to
corporate
go get
sector,
it.
I was
Oh, go
making
ahead, go ahead.
I was making all this money, right? And like I never had any of it because I was spending it all because I was depressed. Literally. I needed to spend money on food and stuff, and I was surrounded by stuff I hated going to a job that I hated. Now I
Yeah,
have quote unquote less by the American standard, but I've never been happier. So anyway, mic drop.
true. That's very well said, Nick. Very well said.
Thanks, dude.
I'm gonna get caught up on some of this. So Bhakti asked, do you ever put a playlist of your own music? Yeah, I listen to our music a lot. In fact, sometimes if I haven't listened to it for a while, I go back and listen to it. And I'm like, I get like a little emotional. So yeah, there's no music we haven't made. There's no music we've made that I don't like. Everything we've ever made, I like. And I do listen to it. Alyssa, 8 years of dedication. You guys have come a long way. Thank you so much. Um, we're really happy that you found us, and thanks for listening.
I dropped a
Ba-ba.
link to how someone can support us besides music. I dropped a link to our merch. So if you want to get some dope merch, hoodies, shirts, vinyl, I got one of the vinyls right here. You can get that guy.
Yeah, it's really cool actually. It came out really nice. I love
It's
the
so
white
dope.
record. Cajun, no, there is no such thing as a good Waffle House story. That's a good point. Um, Novalin, oh, thanks. Jamming the Beast while doing this. That's a 8 grades double dipper, dude. Um, your style, this is actually Diamond. This is a good comment. Your style has changed so much with each album. I really love that about you guys. So, I get a lot of comments about that, Diamond, and something that is important to me to say, because I've said it in the Discord things a couple times. I think what people have always complimented me on about the way that I write lyrics, is that they feel honest, right? And when I wrote the old stuff, when I wrote like the black and red, and I was not in a great place, obviously. I wasn't doing well. I was super depressed, super angry, super anxious. I had several different iterations of plans to, and that was not the best. So that didn't stick around. Luckily for me, I've gotten into therapy. I've gotten a little healthier. I've healed a little bit, and there's still a lot of those, issues that'll always stick around. I think, unfortunately, you know, I went through some things that just kind of that's just how it's going to be. Um, but that being said, it gets better, and you can heal if you put the effort in. And I have. So, now that I'm in a little bit of a better place, the sound changes and the message changes. And I think what you're going to see with this record, particularly, the songs are still sad, and I'm still like, I have a lot of stuff I'm sad and angry about, but it's less about me.
Yeah, that's, yep.
Yeah, right? It's less about me hating myself or hating, who I am or being upset with myself for things I've done or feeling guilty, and more about like, oh, wow, this planet we're on it's not doing so well.
No.
And so I'm still, the messages of the sadness and the anger it's still there. I still feel that. I think that's just a part of my personality at this point. I'm like a crotchety old man. But cantankerous old coot or whatever the term is.
Cantankerous. What a word.
I'm in it. But yeah, I think you'll see that a lot of the style changes, that underlying message of me not really being particularly happy with the way that things are, kind of stays the same. Um, oh man, I fell behind here. We've been talking too much. Jacoba, what's up again? And super happy you've been vibing to Bored to Death. That's awesome. Everybody talking about my tattooing. If you ever find yourself in the tri-state area, by the way, that's like New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut here in the States, just hit me up. I'll tattoo that. I'll tattoo the crap out of you. Um, Lone Wolf, thanks for grabbing a hoodie. I'm super happy you like it. Oh, and you got the bundle. That's right. So you got the poster too. And Moonlight, I think those pins, the ghost pins, are probably my one of my favorite things we've ever made. For sure. I really, really like those pins. I think they're so awesome.
Pins are so dope, man. So dope. I like that we just plucked them right out of the music video.
Asia, so I got your name right and I butchered Lisa's. So I'm one for two. I'm batting 50% right now. It's not awesome. I'm gonna do my best to improve that. Um, yeah, Alyssa, I think that's like a big part of it. Just, relate to that. Or Alyssa says, I relate to that so hard. It's like it is what it is, so I'm going to keep moving. And that's basically where I've kind of gotten to is I can't hit pause on my life because of stuff around me bothering me, right? Like unfortunately, and I think Nick spoke to that too with his journey as how he got kind of got out of his job that was sucking the soul out of him and kind of moved into this phase of his life. Um, you know, when you're not happy, it's so easy to get stuck. Um, that's like the horrible thing about being depressed is it just pushes you down and just gives you so much what I like to call inertia, right? Like objects at rest tend to stay at rest. What is that? Newton's law? What is that? Some smart person's law.
Yeah, I forget who that is. I don't think
I
that's
don't know,
Newton.
dude. I don't know. It's inertia. It's a property of inertia. That's what I know. And you really have to exert an equal force to kind of overcome that thing that's trying to hold you still and push you down. So yeah, just moving forward and chasing the things that you want and need for yourself. And I think if my therapist was watching this, she'd be proud of me. The term that we use in therapy is value-based living. So choosing what is important to you and what you value as your core things that you hold dear and trying to live your life in line with that as much as you can. And for me, it was kindness and compassion and freedom and creativity. And so that's kind of how I tried to line up my life a little bit. Um, but yeah,
But yeah.
Adrian, the first time I listened to Everyday Oblivion, I cried too. In the studio, I cried. It's even now when I go back and listen to it, that thing is brutal, man. That song is just beats on you. I'm really proud of that song. Really proud of that song. Um, Vic, you just missed how we got the name Eight Graves. So if you watch this video back after we end, it's probably about 20. We just did a really long explanation of it.
Yeah, it's
So
like
if you
20
go
minutes
back,
into the video.
yeah, about 20 minutes in when this posts. Alex, I'm so happy you're enjoying your shirt and your pins. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, Alex just listens to us at work all the time and just makes all of her coworkers listen to us now, Nick. So
No,
that
that's a
thing.
really good description of Everyday Oblivion. It feels like watching the world pass by from a cryo chamber. I can see
Oh,
that.
look at that. The
Super
sci-fi stuff.
sci-fi.
Lone Wolf, thank you for confirming that I'm not crazy when I said that. I haven't been in school for a long time. Again, old. Gonna die soon. Uh, anyway,
How does it feel to be in the
uh,
winter of your life?
let's go, Nathan. Um, to throw off the real talk, the rework of Aurelian Soul. I haven't even seen the rework yet, Iris. I have to look at it. I'll see it this this week, I'm sure. Sam, you know I don't smoke weed, so I can't even answer that question. Who would I want to like sit down and have a conversation with? Well, how many people are in a what is it? How many people are in a rotation? Is it three, four? I don't
A
even know.
rotation for what?
I don't know. Sam asked me my dream blunt rotation. I don't even know how many people are in a rotation. Daniel, it's incredible to see your journey through life, and a lot of it I can relate to. I think it's really cool that you connect with your audience through your music. Again, uh, Daniel, I gotta say, man, those are the kind of comments that I've been getting a lot on the YouTube videos and stuff, and I can't tell you how important that is to me. Like when we went to make Everyday Oblivion, I was losing sleep over the fact that we didn't make something that just sounded like generically evil. I was like literally losing sleep of like, oh my God, everybody who listens to us is going to be so disappointed in me that like I didn't just make another black, you know? So hearing that you guys like the songs and that you appreciate me kind of sharing this journey is I can't even tell you how much peace it gives me. So truly thank you very, very much. I really honestly cannot overstate how much that means to me. All right. Demetrica, I want to say your name. You've asked a couple of really great questions, but I'm afraid to butcher your name because it is difficult for me to read. Uh, So I'm gonna go with Demetrika. I should have asked somebody who we should have like screenshot that and sent it to Dimitri or something. Again, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but what are some of our favorite musical artists? Right now, I'm real big on a band called Death from Above 1979. They're like one of my favorite bands. Um, Guys, I'm only kidding about dying soon. Don't worry. My girlfriend hates when I say that too. Um, Death from Above is one of my favorite bands. Deftones is like one of my all-time favorite bands. I listen to them a lot. Nick, I've actually been listening to a lot of The Prodigy. I put it on at work.
Back on the Prodigy grind. Love it.
Yeah, I just put on their little This Is the Prodigy playlist. And this is going to be weird, but I listen to a lot of roots reggae, like Toots and the Maytals, Desmond Decker.
Dude, you've been
Um,
on that for a while.
it is, I gotta
It's
tell
such
you
a good
guys,
mood booster, man.
I was about to say, if you're ever feeling like in a bad way, go on Spotify or go on what you call it? What's the other one? Pandora, and put on Toots and the Maytals radio, and I guarantee you it will make you feel a lot better.
Hits every time. I've been
It
listening
really
to a lot
does.
of 70s disco, and that is something I never listened to. But
That's funny.
mood booster, man. Mood
Yeah,
booster.
that's for me. I listened to it, and I was gonna say the other thing is soul, like
Yeah,
Curtis
it's its
Mayfield, and
neighbor. Yeah.
yeah, like that's old soul music is just awesome. Really, really great. So that's what I've been listening to recently. Nick, what have you been listening to recently?
I've been listening to disco classics,
Oh,
just an assorted variety of artists.
and you know what else is Rufus Du Sol? You got me
I
on
do,
that too.
yeah, I've been listening to them as well. But since, I don't know, November, I've been listening to like no music on purpose just to like decompress
Yeah.
because
Yep.
our lives are about music, at this point. So it's nice to just get away from it and turn to books or some other form of media.
Mhm.
And I also didn't have audio in my car for a very long time, but it took a $9 part that I replaced myself, and now I do.
How about that?
But
How
yeah, it's just been
about
disco,
that?
man.
Yeah, I've been listening to like sports talk podcasts because I'm like, I know we're getting ready to write another record and I gotta like get some stuff out of my head so I can let our stuff back in. Um, Alyssa, I really like that line too. I think that was one of what that's among some of the favorite lines I've ever wrote. Um, Tundra Whisper, do I have any horror stories of building a PC and it not going well? I'm sorry that's what you're going through, but yes, I have. I one time built a whole PC and it just wouldn't turn on, and it was like a grounding issue. And actually, Nick's brother is the one that helped me figure it out.
Dude,
Um,
what you got to do is you got to breadboard it. Quickly, what that means is power supply connected to motherboard with no memory, no hard drive, nothing. Turn it on. If it posts without an error, or if you get an error that indicates it's missing like a hard drive or a memory, you start plugging that stuff in, reboot it. And wherever you get hung up, that's where your issue
that's the
is.
problem is. By the way, Nick worked in IT for a very long time, so he
Too
knows
long.
what he's talking about. So listen to him. And if you have questions about that stuff, post them in Discord. Maybe we can help you.
No, I am not troubleshooting anyone for as long as I live.
But
I've
you know, some,
troubleshot stuff for too many fussy CEOs in my lifetime that I'm
you
over
know
it.
somebody else in our Discord will know though.
Oh, they meant to me. Yeah, yeah.
We
Anybody else,
have a
that's fine.
ton of really, 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 really smart people on our Discord that know about kind of everything. It's borderline insane. What is the weirdest thing you've seen each other doing that isn't weird? That isn't that weird? Oh, Nick has seen me. I don't even know if I feel comfortable sharing some of the weird things Nick has seen me doing.
I've blocked them all out. My
Jumping in the
memory has
middle.
erased them to be
Were
able
you
to
there
cope
for
from
me
trauma.
jumping in the middle of the giant fist fight in a completely naked when those
No, I'm
frat
glad
bros were
I'm glad
destroying
that
my
one's
house?
blocked out too because I do not remember
Uh,
that.
I jumped in a
Don't tell that
giant fist
story.
fight.
You gonna
I'm
tell a
not going
story?
to. No, I'm not going to tell that story.
Okay, good.
I've done a lot of weird stuff, and Nick's seen almost all of it. I gotta say, Nick is very generally reserved. The weird things that Nick does are like not that weird. Like
It's just weird to see me do them.
Yeah, or like things, or they're just weird to me.
It's because you know me
See,
too well.
because this is the thing, guys. I essentially there's almost nothing on the planet Earth that bothers me.
Except when Nick talks to Brent.
No, when Nick is trying to help me troubleshoot stuff.
Yes.
Nick is there's a lot of IT people. I get is there a lot of furries? I don't know anything about that. And then Nick is bothered by a lot of things. Nick is very particular about what he eats, where how he sleeps, where he sleeps, when he sleeps,
You're
his
putting me on
routines.
blast right now.
No, Nick is a creature of habit and a creature of routine, and he likes the routine makes him comfortable. And I am a creature of absolute chaos. I am a creature
You
of
are chaos, yeah.
I am
To the
anthropomorphic
point where
chaos.
you look at how I live and I look at how you live, we're like, why do I know this
Ow.
person? How? Like,
Nick is like complete order, and I am complete chaos.
that's the yin and
So
yang, baby.
yeah, so it's like it's funny for us to like because I do a lot of stuff that Nick thinks is crazy, and Nick does a lot of stuff that I think is crazy, and it's just like regular for us. What were our jobs before music? I have had about 900 jobs. I worked in retail, in electronic stores. I worked in a supermarket. I
It's
worked at
actually
a
how we
lumber.
met. We worked at
Yeah,
an electronic retail
retailer
store. Thank you.
at a Circuit City. I'm really sorry
Yep.
that it's not translating the Russian comments for me, so I'm not ignoring you guys. I just can't read Russian. I'm so sorry. Um, but hello back to you guys. Hello, hello, hello. I did see hello from Russia. Hello back to you guys. I'm sorry that I can't. It's not. I thought this would maybe translate for me, but it's not. I worked at a lumber yard. I did construction. I did roofing. I was a living resident life assistant at a college. I was, God, I was a piercer. I was a manager of a tattoo shop. Now I'm a tattooer. I've had a lot of jobs, too many jobs. And mostly because once somebody annoys me, then I quit almost instantaneously.
Yeah, and I've worked in the corporate sector. I said that earlier in the stream, but yeah, I worked in insurance, but in the IT world. And before that, I was in retail. And before that, I worked at a doctor's office where I like filed stuff. I was like the filing guy. I just took a chart and put it alphabetically in like a sea of cabinets in the basement with like dusty concrete floors. That was my
The
job.
the the original data entry.
Yeah. Oh, when they got computers, they were like, "Hey, you don't have a job anymore." I was like, "No, my job was to make myself obsolete by scanning all those documents in." And then, like after like 2 days of scanning, I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do this anymore."
They're like, hey, could you do all of this to make yourself obsolete? Like, we would like you to work really hard, and then when you're done working really hard, you will no longer have a
Yeah,
job.
exactly. So that was that. And then before that, I worked at a restaurant where I like did like waiting basically, but I was like 15.
Yeah.
I had to like
Yeah,
get like a
I didn't
little
even think about
waiver
that.
signed.
My first job ever, I was 13 washing dishes at a pizza and pasta.
Yeah, isn't that like child labor or something? Sheesh.
I lied. See, I lied. Um,
You never lie.
I lie when I need to.
Yeah, that was
I
that was
told
a
them I
joke.
was like 15 or 16, and then I was like, I just and like you got to bring your working papers, and I'm like, I forgot them again, and I worked for like a month and a half, and finally they were like, hey, dude, you got to bring your working papers, and I was like, I'm 13, I'm out. Um, but that was my first job. I worked there. Yeah. But anyway, oh, that's right, Moonlight. You can read that. We have a resident expert. Um, Sam asks, what is our biggest guilty pleasure? I'm not, let me tell you something right now. I ain't guilty about nothing I enjoy. I always think it's funny when people are like, oh, like, I like this band, but like, I don't want to say anything about it, or I like this food, but I don't like. There's a difference between, um, so for instance, like with music, right? I like some bad music. There's music I like, I don't think is good, but I like it. And just because music is really good, so the example I always give is like, I don't know if you guys know who Tom Waits is, but if you don't, look it up on Spotify. He makes like kind of folky music. Um, and he has a very unique voice. It's raspy and low and weird, right? But it's great and cool. Uh, Ryan, we're super happy the music was there for you when you needed it, bud. And we're super happy you're here. Um, so like there's Tom Waits and there's Michael Jackson, right? And who's the better singer? Well, obviously Michael Jackson is technically the better singer, but that doesn't mean that you like his music better or that you like his voice better. So what's good and what you like are not necessarily the same thing. But never, ever, 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 ever apologize for liking something. I think that's something that people who are trying to be too cool do. You know, they don't want to admit to. They don't want people to think that they like things that are like cool. Screw that. Like whatever the hell you like, and anybody who gives you a hard time about it, let them know that they're a miserable asshole. And then guys, we're coming up on the end here. It's been, we got a couple more questions that we can get in. So I'm gonna try to bang these out. I apologize if I give you like kind of the short answer.
Man,
Um,
time really flew, man.
an hour goes by like in a zip, but I gotta get ready for my Twitch stream. Um, we're definitely always looking for collaborations. We have some on the table that we're hopefully looking on. So Shal. Um, Masni, I actually was talking to Pluto about that not too long ago. He's been in a tizzy like always. That dude has just been bust. He never stops working, so he's really hard to nail down a plan with. But we would love to work with him again. Armand is like seriously just the nicest, just like the best, and he's so easy to work with. And we've tried to work with other artists before that's doesn't go that smoothly. He is fantastic. And if you guys don't already listen to Unlike Pluto, please go follow him, add his music to your playlist. He's just the
Such an
best.
awesome guy.
Alyssa, random Howard the Duck mention. That's really funny. I actually think they're going to be remaking Howard the Duck. I don't know if you have watched the end credit scenes in the first Guardian of the Galaxy movie, but they have a Howard the Duck cameo. And I'm pretty sure they're planning on a remake of Howard the Duck. Don't feel bad about John Mayer, Sam. That dude is he's arguably the best guitar player on earth. Um, and I know that's a hot take, but that dude rips. Super, super good. Muzan has the hair thing, Adrian, like Michael Jackson with the white hat. That's a good call. I never thought about that before. That's really weird. Aaron, we would love to make a song with grandson, but grandson is too big now. He will never answer any messages that we send him, so that will never happen. And Tasia, I used to watch MMA, but I'm going to stop watching it because I don't support any businesses that are owned by people that beat the shit out of their wives. Dana White's a scumbag. You should not watch it either. And now he also started that slapboxing league, which is actually going to kill somebody or give somebody a horrible
Yeah,
brain damage.
don't even give him promo.
Yeah, so until that dude sells it, I will probably never watch another UFC thing ever again. I'll watch sports that are handled by people that aren't utter pieces of dog shit. And that's awesome, Masley. We're super happy that you found Unlike Pluto through the collab. That's the goal, man, is to help introduce each other's friends, and kind of create that weave. So yeah, guys.
Great stream.
Yeah, this was fun. We wanted to say thank you to all you guys for coming and hanging out. We
Yes,
really
thank you.
appreciate it. Ronnie, what's up, dog? Um, so happy you popped in. Alyssa, don't Google it because you're gonna see the video. He like slap like there's a video of him like
Well, this
not
is a
like
trigger warning here. Don't want
yeah,
to upset
like
anybody.
yeah. I'm not even gonna talk about it because you're right, that's true. But there's a video that is pretty graphic and don't look it up. But yeah, he got caught on video doing some pretty nasty things. And then gave the oddest explanation. But anyway, screw that guy. Thank you to everyone for coming. You guys are awesome. Like I mentioned in some of the other videos on their other platforms, Nick and I are going to be doing this for every release this entire year, and it just so happens that this is the year that we will have the most releases that we've ever had since we started. We will have every time a song is released, the Wednesday prior will be the Discord pre-release. The Friday will be obviously the release day of the songs. And then I'll be up all night doing comments. And then the Saturday there
We
will
do
be
this.
the live stream like this earlier, the YouTube live session, and then in the evening a Twitch stream. We'll all play some video games and we'll hang out. And now you guys got to give Nick his Fs, otherwise he'll go to bed
We're getting
cranky.
there. We're getting there. Actually, I did it when
Okay.
you left Discord yesterday or on Wednesday. You left, and someone was like, "No Fs," and I was like, "Oh, that's right."
And you did it without me. Go ahead, Nick.
All
Get
right.
after it.
Well, I'm gonna fade us out here. So let's say our last goodbye, and then yeah, I want to see some Fs in the chat room.
Yes, yes, yes. We love you guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. We appreciate you taking the time to spend with us, and we love spending the time with you. So we're super happy we're here. We love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. And hopefully, I'll see some of you guys in approximately 3 hours on our Twitch channel to hang out. I'm going to be playing a game that's called Below, which I really like, and it's super easy for me to talk while I'm playing it. So
Awesome.
see you in a couple hours,
See
guys.
you guys.